Sparking Zero was not worth $100+. Let's talk about this. This is a very, very important topic that we need to discuss now that it's been a few months, couple months since the game has released. We've played it, we've experienced pretty much everything in it, and I will agree that the game, it's lacking content, and it's definitely very expensive, but I want to discuss, you know, the different perspectives on this and why I personally think that overall the game and the experience was worth it, at least for me. And you can absolutely comment down below your thoughts and opinions about it and everything. After this recent update, a lot of stuff did get improved, and there's some stuff that also broke, okay? With every update comes shit that gets fucked up, and that just happens with every, you know, game, at least a anime arena fighter like this, right? So shout out to Xeno918K. I don't want you guys to send any hate towards this person or anything. I think their opinion is pretty valid. Again, it just kind of depends on your experience with the game, right? Everybody's going to have a different opinion on it, right? So let's actually go over the responses from some people, and I'll go over why I personally think the game is worth it, going over all the topics, the good and the bad, okay? Keep in mind, I'm not glazing and I'm not hating. I feel like that's like the only criticism that people can give others nowadays, especially online, is, oh, you like this game, you're a glazer. Oh, you don't like this game, you're just a hater. Like, no, there are good things and bad things in everything, right? So let's discuss this here. So they said, I spent $120+ on this shit just for the game to not be worth a cool 45 to 60, okay? So they're pretty much saying that the game, in their opinion, is worth around 45 to 60, about that much, right? So the base game is $70, right? This is what I said in response to them, okay? I said, you paid $70 for the game, and then you pay an extra like $30 to $35 for the DLC that's going to be released in 2025, okay? So I personally think the base game itself, with 180+ characters, you know, the story and everything all encompassing in this shit, right? In this damn package, I think it's worth it, in my opinion, okay? And again, comment down below. Do you think the game was worth the $70, okay? I understand a lot of you, including myself, we all paid $100+ for it. Ultimate Edition, Deluxe Edition, whatever, Collector's Edition. I personally do not think the Collector's Edition was worth it at all. If you paid for that, Godspeed, bro. Like, I'm sorry, right? That wasn't worth it because it's just all a bunch of like extra shit. Like, I personally don't care for it that much, but I got it because it was like, oh, I gotta have a Collector's Edition for like one of the best Dragon Ball games ever made, which I still think it is one of the best games, you know, Dragon Ball games ever made, but I digress. We're talking about the game itself, right? Just the game, the content that's in the game, right? So some more responses on it. Okay, let's read what people were saying. On God, it wasn't. On me, I love Dragon Ball, and I see people saying it was worth, and I'm happy for them, but the game was not finished, okay? So massive respect to them, okay? Because they're acknowledging that there are people, okay, out there that did think it was worth it, and they just personally didn't feel it was, and that it was not finished. And I can agree with that, okay? I can absolutely agree that the game did not feel like it was done, okay? There are things in it, I've criticized it a lot since, you know, the past 2 months that this game's been out. There were things that I saw in the beta, or not, I say the beta, there was no beta. The beta was the release when it dropped in October, right? We're finally out of the beta, okay? We're in beta version 2. The game still isn't complete yet. But no, in all seriousness, no. So basically, there are things in the game, like just an example, there are certain transformation animations, Jiren full power, PowerPoint ass jump cut, you know, that didn't look like it was finished. There are a lot of costumes missing. The story mode with the slideshows and the skipping around a lot wasn't the best. You know, it is what it is. But I mean, like I said, I can understand where they're coming from with it. But again, the overall package of everything in the game, I think, was pretty good. And again, they're updating it. They're still updating the game, right? So we have to wait and let them cook, okay? If you truly care about this game and you want to see this game do well and you enjoy the game, right, which is the core player base that's currently playing the game as we speak, okay? They're, you know, those people are going to be waiting for, you know, updates and changes, right? So Neo here said, part of me wishes I waited for a sale. I mean, if I'm going to be honest, you're not going to get a sale for, I don't know, maybe another year. It's very, it's going to be a while until we see a sale, okay? Maybe if we're lucky, we'll see Sparking Zero discounted maybe like $10, $20. I don't even know. I guess the earliest it would be, they usually do a sale probably during like Lunar New Year, which is going to be, I think, around maybe like February-ish. So maybe we'll see that, but I doubt it. You're not going to see a sale on the game for a while, okay? But I enjoyed my 50 to 60 hours on it, but yeah, wow, no desire to go back, okay? Again, I understand. Okay, 50 to 60 hours, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of play time, right? And let's be real. After people played it for a month, they beat everything, they unlocked everything, they played a bit of PvP, maybe did some custom battle. You know, a lot of people just, they move on, right? Myself included. I moved on to other things, but I always went back to the game to play some things, you know, maybe do custom battle, play with friends. I always went back. It wasn't like every single day or anything. Again, you do everything in the game, and this is the same thing with Xenoverse 2. Okay, Xenoverse 2 was like this. Fighters was like this. Every Arena Fighter or Dragon Ball game that has ever released has been like this. The only games where I come back more frequently than others is probably like the mobile games, because they get updates frequently, right? Sparking Zero console games, you know, Xenoverse 2, they don't get them as frequently. We gotta wait, you know, a few months before they can drop new shit, right? So I enjoyed some of the time I had with it, but as I played it in early November, the things that got annoying made me drop it. They all got patched now, but I just don't feel the urge to go back, unfortunately. And I do think that's very, very unfortunate because, again, they're acknowledging that all the issues that the game had got patched, but I can totally understand why, for the most part, some people, it left a bad taste in their mouth. And what I mean by that is exactly what they're saying, okay? There's just, you know, you see, oh, okay, great, they fixed it, but it's too late, right? And that's another criticism I have for this game is if they just didn't force them, or not force them, but if they weren't, you know, forced by whoever, you know, I don't know if it was Shueisha or whoever in the higher-ups, maybe it was Bandai, I don't know. Okay, whatever it may be, they were definitely forced to release this game and meet a deadline of release for the same time as Daima, okay? Daima released the same exact day as the official launch for Sparking Zero. They both released on the same time, okay? At least the first episode of Daima and then the release of Sparking Zero, which was cool, and I understand why they did it. You got to play on the hype. Oh, new anime, new game. It even has a DLC character that comes with it if you pre-ordered it and shit. That's from Daima. Dragon Ball games do this all the time, right? But because of that, the game definitely suffered, right? It's about 2 months after the game released, and all the stuff, all the major issues, for the most part, again, there were still issues in the game and things that got fucked up too, a lot of it got fixed, okay? A lot of the stuff that people that had a big problem with, you know, whenever it launched, right? So if they just waited a few months, even waited maybe early 2025 to release this game, it would have been in the oven much longer. It would have been fully cooked, perfection almost, not really, but almost there, right? It would have been much better. And unfortunately, that wasn't the case, and this is where we're at right now, okay? With, unfortunately, what Xeno is saying here, they just don't want to go back to the game because of this, okay? And a lot of us did go back, right? But not everybody. I saw the player base, at least on Steam, and it went up a little bit, but it wasn't enough to where you would be like, okay, the game is truly back for people, right? It's definitely back for me. I think, like I've been saying it, like, oh yeah, we are so back, right? And again, there are still issues with the game, but things have definitely improved, and I just think it's unfortunate that it's kind of too late for some people, right? We were robbed for real. I personally do not agree with that at all. Again, I know there are issues with the game. There are things in the game that weren't the best, and, you know, however you feel about it, but no, I don't think we were robbed. I mean, $70 that's how much you pay for a game. As fucking garbage that is, I hate paying $70 for a game. I remember when games were $40 maximum. Okay, I feel like a lot of us are like still in that time, you know, and I wish it was like that, but that's not what it is. Every single couple of years, every single 5 to 10 years, it goes up $10. It goes up $10. In the next 10 years from now, it's going to be like $80 to $100 for just the base game right now. So y'all better enjoy the $70 releases, right? It's very rare these days you get a game that is like a big major release for a franchise, whether it be an anime, arena fighter, or like a fighting game, whatever it may be. That's, you know, less than $70, right? I can't recall a game that I paid for. I think what Zelda recently I paid for was $70. Tears of the Kingdom, I feel like, me personally, that was the only game that was truly worth it, and I feel like I got more than my money's worth out of it, right? I play that game for a full year plus, and I'll still try to, go back. I still haven't completed everything, 100% everything, right? I didn't get all the costumes, but I played so much of that game, and it was very worth it to me. That's like the only game in the past, maybe, I don't know, since I played Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild and that game are like the only few games. I would say Xenoverse 2 was worth it for me, but not really because I'm paying for the DLC, so at that point, it's not even worth it, right? For the $70 that I played, it was the same as Sparking Zero, right? Or actually, I paid like 90 to 100. I mean, you saw a video I made. I paid like $1,000 on this game in total so far, which is ridiculous, right? Yeah, okay, you can just see what most people were saying, like, TMC here says, you can tell who has and hasn't played post-patch, right? And again, they acknowledge that they know that stuff got patched, okay? So again, respect to them for that, but they just don't really have a desire to go back. Again, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, right? So again, $35, I believe, is how much it is for the season pass, okay? We paid $100+ for it because we're still waiting for DLC 1, DLC 2, and DLC 3. 20+ characters, new characters, and early access, as well as the bonus, which is the Shenron summon, okay? I think it is absolutely bullshit that a DLC is half the price of the game. I want you to keep that in mind, okay? I think that truly right there isn't worth it. The base game itself, yes. The DLC, no. As crazy good as it's going to be if it releases, if it's even going to be good, $35, that's half the price of this game, is not justified in my opinion. And it will never be justified. Okay, I definitely am not going to sit here and tell you that I'm not going to buy the DLC because of it. No, I already fucking spent $100 on it, right? A lot of us already did, so it's too late now. We already spent that much, right? But I want to play the new characters. I want to experience the new DLC and everything, okay? But no, this was not worth it at all. You're getting 20+ playable characters. The base game has 180 for $70. 20+. The math ain't mathin'. For half the price of the game, we should be getting at minimum 90 characters if we're going by the price of it. And I know I'm being silly about that and I'm just being funny, but not really. I'm being dead fucking serious. All right, where are my 90 fucking characters for the $35 that I'm spending on this shit? You're going to charge me $35, half of the roster, but you only going to give me 20 characters? The fuck is this? I don't care how good these characters are. They better be fucking gold at this point. Like, they better have animations like on par to Dragon Ball Super Broly. They better just give me a whole... Dude, if I pay $90, they better give me the whole entire Moro arc and Granola arc, the whole anime for free with this, as well as all the characters from those sagas as well, right? To play. So I want the whole anime. I want to be able to watch the anime, get excited for it, and then play my DLC characters in it. All right? I'm looking at you, Bandai. I was about to say Dimps because I'm always shitting on Dimps because they fuck stuff up in Xenoverse too, but Spike, Chunsoft, like, I'm looking at y'all, right? So yeah, again, 180 characters. That's a lot. That's the most a video game has ever had for Dragon Ball. And like, how much does Smash have? There's no way that any of these games have 180 characters, right? Like, for a fighting game, this is ridiculous, okay? Game modes, right? You got Episode Battle, which pretty much is infinite content. Sorry, that's the wrong one. That's Story Mode. Custom Battle, which is pretty much infinite content. Episode Battle, not a big fan of, okay? I think, again, overall, combined together with the 8 characters, their different story missions, all the what-if paths and everything, it's okay. It's okay. It's not horrible. Again, I don't like the slideshow shit. It was disappointing, but it was still, for a Tenkaichi game, which never really had all that great of a story. People will say, I saw some people responding to me, oh, well, Budokai 3 and Tenkaichi 2 had the exploration thing. And it's like, yes, I understand. And, that was definitely better, but not all the games had that. Tenkaichi 3 was basically this, right? It was basically this. And even the cutscenes and everything, they weren't all that great. Again, I would say that it's a bit worse in here because of the slideshow thing, but it's like they also included the what if paths. They divided it up with like these different sections for characters and stuff. Again, overall, I personally think it was worth it. You can disagree with me, right? Again, Custom Battle, pretty much infinite content. You can make as many stories as you want. It just depends on if you think that the way that they did it was worth it or not, okay? I'll leave it up to you guys if you want to, say your opinion, okay? And then, of course, you had tournament mode and everything, too, which all the way down here, which tournament mode is tournament mode. There's nothing all that crazy about it. You know, you had your different ones. World Tournament, Cell Games, Create Your Own Tournament, Yamcha Games, Tournament of Power. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? And, you know, again, with the story, I feel like when I first talked about story and I said it was disappointing, people said like, oh, that's disingenuous to say that it was very short or whatever. But it's like, I'm not saying all in total it was short. It's just like each one that you played, there was a lot missing and it jumped around a lot, okay? I'm not saying that it was... I'm not trying to say that it was like short necessarily. I feel like that comes out like kind of wrong, but when you play it, it feels that way. It just feels that way to me, okay? Because like I'm playing through Goku's story and his was pretty robust. It was decent. It did skip around a bit. But when you play like Vegeta's story, for example, it doesn't even go past the Boost saga, okay? And then like the Future Trunks saga, where's everything from Z and everything? It just jumps into DBS, which I mean, that's just one small saga, okay? Which again, it wasn't horrible or anything. It's just, it was like, I feel like there was so much more for each character that they could have done. You know what I'm saying? Jiren and Goku Black, I get it. They're only from Dragon Ball Super, so they're not going to have a lot, right? But Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, and Frieza and Trunks, right? At least all through Z and DBS, right? But some characters didn't have all that. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy. And yeah, again, people criticize, oh, it's like this. It's like, again, most of the Dragon Ball games were like this. It's like a world map, and then you just scroll. A very simple thing. Most of these Dragon Ball games do that, right? If you want a real good story mode, play Kakarot. That's what it was for, right? And the sparking episodes were really cool, in my opinion, okay? There were a few of them that I just didn't really care all too much about, but I loved the Gohan Black one. I liked Trunks in the Tournament of Power. Like, those are cool. Those are cool ideas and concepts, right? Now, costumes and accessories are bad. Very bad, okay? Okay, I don't want to say they're that bad. Like, you had your Gokus, Gohans, Vegetas, and Trunks, right? They had all their costumes. And even some characters like maybe like Tien or, you know, what is it? Master Roshi. They had a pretty decent variety of costumes. But it's like, where are the accessories? You know, what happened to characters having different skin, you know, skins for it? Like, for example, like Cell has like a different color or whatever. Like, we didn't have that for like characters that, if you're doing like dittos against a character, they would usually have like a different color preset. Like, what happened to all that? Gogeta Super Saiyan 4. Remember that one where he's got like the darker skin tone and like the white hair and everything? Like, what happened to all that? Like, that's definitely a big criticism for it, right? So, like, again, I agree. There are things in this game that felt unfinished and are definitely unfinished, again, to meet that deadline. But I think, personally, the game is definitely worth the $70, okay? When it comes to $100+, the DLC, that's a problem, in my opinion, okay? So I can understand where they're coming from. $100 that you spend right up front is not worth it. But for the game, $70, yes, I think that's worth it. Y'all can comment down below what you think about that. Again, as I don't really care how good the DLC is, I don't think $35, half the price of the game, is justified, okay? I'm excited, and I'm gonna play it, and I already bought it, right? So, I mean, I can't cry over spilt milk now, right? But that's ridiculous, man. You're only getting 20+ characters, and there's no confirmation of new story. If there's new story and like new costumes and like new stages and things, if there's like new shit like that that's with it, which they're not really clarifying that, and I doubt that's going to be the case. I don't want to get my hopes up. Then yeah, maybe it can be justified, maybe, but no. Right now, at this current moment, I don't think it is. Again, comment down below your thoughts and opinions. I thought it was a great topic to talk about. Let's get some discussion in the comments. I want to see what you guys have to say. All right, drop a like, subscribe here on the channel, ring my notification bell. Peace out.
This is Broly, and you are watching SLOplays. Make sure to subscribe, or else I'll destroy your entire planet.